Hello everyone and welcome back to our blind Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth. My name is FlightlessBird. This is just what we're going to channel today. Oh boy, we're still trying to go at it with former Ambassador Albuquerque as the tides have turned. And now that he no longer has diplomatic immunity, we can hopefully put this guy behind bars where he belongs and end this smuggling ring once and for all. I hope you're all having a wonderful, fantastic day today. After I returned to LDPlayer, I had my picture taken with the steel samurai shaking hands. Well then, just as I was about to start my speech, the Yatagratsu appeared. I feared for the national treasure, so I raced back to my office. It's a really quick testimony. Is that all? Yes, that's all.
Objection!
It looks like you left out a few things, such as the murder of Thomas II. Furthermore, you left out the part about meeting with me in the office.
Those trifling matters. I don't believe I need to, speak of those things again. I do so hate to waste time.
But
Is not every life precious? Hehehehe. Do you really need me to answer that for you? People like you cannot be allowed to wander freely through society. Huh. Then you better try hard, because I doubt you'll find a single contradiction.
he's really full of himself, isn't he?
Yes, he is. How can he be so confident at a time like this? Ha 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 ha! Come, don't be shy. Go ahead and ask whatever you like. Let's do it. After I returned to LDPlayer, I had my picture taken with the steel samurai shaking hands. So why was it only with the steel samurai? I thought the pink princess was also around. The pink princess was suffering from a bad hip at the time, and the doctors recommended that she rest.
Wow, so you do have a soft side after all.
The pain of a bad hip. Suppose none of you can really understand how it feels.
Oh, so you tend to strain your back as well, huh? But isn't that just because you're normally all hunched over?
He did need to keep up the act no matter what, I suppose. Huh, the point of this is not to discuss my back problems. For about 15 minutes after our handshake, I was in my office preparing for the siege. Then, just as I was about to start my speech, the Yatagratsu appeared. That Yatagratsu was just a trick that you had set up. Ha ha ha! A most amusing joke, and how do you propose that I set it up? If you really want to know, I can explain it in detail for you. You arranged the spotlights in the rose garden so that when you were to take the stage, the audience would see the Yatagratsu's shadow. Oh, that is an interesting tale. Sadly, it has nothing to do with me.
You, what's it going to take for you to fess up to anything?
Very well then, let's move on to a different question. After the Yatagratsu appeared, what was the state of the rose garden? Well, everyone took refuge inside the embassy. I even helped with the effort. And then, once everyone was inside, well, I feared for the national treasure, so I raced back to my office. And what happened after you returned to your office? I don't want to keep on repeating this, however. Upon my return, I had that stroke of bad luck to bump into the masked man.
And I don't want to keep on repeating this either. What to say was Thomas II?
Who cares what he was called? By the time he got to the primitive statue that he was supposed to steal, it had already been swapped for the fake. Talk about an unlucky man. Me blush to death with a fake statue. Oh, that was great. Oh. Instead of all the dots, it's all the whip cracks. Mr. Karma is really letting your whip fly now? Eek! I think the scary part is her silence while she's doing it. She must be at the limit of her patience as well. But physical attacks are meaningless here. Only evidence will suffice. I can't find a single flaw in his argument. Well, part of the reason we can't find a single flaw in his argument is because he does something really smart here, which is he doesn't say a lot. You know, it's sort of like when you're in trouble, or when you're watching like those cop dramas, and you always hear like the lawyer tell the, you know, their what's the word? What's the word for a defendant? The defendant. So when a lawyer tells like the defendant, don't say anything, just respond simple yes or no, don't elaborate. Don't give any more information than you have to. Because the more information you give, the more you could potentially expose the truth to. Or expose something to someone that they could take and then follow it to a different thing that you didn't expect them to follow it to. And that's what he's kind of doing here. He's just very to the point, very straightforward. And it's really hard. Yeah. At this rate, I won't be able to prove that he is actually guilty of anything. Are we finished here? No, I have to silver bottle you.
Miles Edgeworth, can you not come up with how the body was moved to Babal?
Sir? I mean, just give me a minute. Let me go back to my evidence. Mr. Edgeworth?
Grr, even after proving so much, is he going to get away with it?
Is this the end? End of part 2, I guess? Ooh. Okay. It appears that we made it just in time. It would be a great honor if you would allow us to be your allies in battle. Oh my god, it's the Steel Samurai family.
Evil Magistrate, it's time for you to pay.
What am I doing with the voices? I know who these two people are.
It's the Steel Samurai.
I guess when they're trying to act cool, they're not showing their true voices, right? Oh, we got the Steel Samurai music as well. And we got the kid. The kid looks really... I mean, this looks weird. It does.
No, you are mistaken, for I am the Steel Samurai Daddy, married man of New Tokyo. And this is... I'm the Pig Princess Mummy.
Oh, can you please not? Oh god, no!
Edgy Poo!
Could this day get any worse? The two people that I wanted to see the least. Larry! What are you two doing here?
Way to show your gratitude, Edgy. We just want to help. Yeesh. I mean, I'm gonna get the bad guy with mine.
Go away.
How can you be so mean to us, Edgy Poo? All three of us came to lend a hand, and this is how you treat us? Well, isn't this grand? And I see they managed to find the Iron Infant.
Does that really matter right now?
Hey? Is it just me, or is Iron Infant completely soaked?
Oh yeah, I found him in Baba, but he was in the middle of the pool. Wait a second. Larry, go back to what you just said.
Huh? Oh, it appears that we made it.
No, not that far back. Something about finding the Iron Infant in Babal. And he found it in a pool. I don't recall there being one in Babal.
Oh, that. Well, I was in Alabama the whole time, so I had no idea how the Iron Infant wound up in Babal. I thought I had lost him in the Rose Garden. But I guess maybe this cute kid can swim, huh?
Wait, what? Larry, you lost the Iron Infant in the Rose Garden? Are you sure about that?
Well, yeah, I'm sure. But you know, I found him in.
That's enough, Larry. What just happened? The Iron Infant that Larry lost managed to move between the two countries. Furthermore, the Iron Infant was found soaked in the middle of a pool. This is what I've been looking for. It's another smuggling route between the countries. The key to the route the Iron Infant took to travel from Alabasta to Babal is... Well, there's only one answer that makes sense, and that's bilateral symmetry. Because this is the three people, and this doesn't make any sense at all. This is the object that you would smuggle, not the smuggling. And bilateral symmetry basically says if this object over here is over here, then this object over here is over here. And we know there's symmetry to the embassies. But I'm gonna choose these other two things because this one looks like the right answer, and we don't have a health bar. So yeah, it's obviously the Yatagarasu. Is it not the Yatagarasu? No, wait. As Miss Yu was the Yatagarasu, it's very unlikely that the Yatagarasu is the key. In that case, how exactly was the Iron Infant smuggled across country lines? This one thing is the only thing I can think of that could resolve the puzzle. It's obviously counterfeiting. In order to move the counterfeit bills that were printed in Babal, someone must have made a secret route along which to transport it all. But wait, if there was such a route, Agent Lang and his men would have found it already during their investigation. In that case, there must be another secret smuggling route, and I must show the key to that other smuggling route. The key to the route the Iron Infant took is called bilateral symmetry. Ah, that's right. This embassy was built with it in mind. Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
There is a location I wish for you to examine post-haste. It is where I believe the route used to smuggle Mr. Coach's body lies.
Does something like that really exist, sir?
An embassy built on bilateral symmetry, meaning that this is where we need to examine. We need to examine right. Would it be here? Or would it be here? It would be here, right? Right? Or I should be able just to click anywhere here, right?
Yes, sir. I'll be back before you know it.
It's too late. It doesn't matter now what you do. It's all a waste of time.
You will stay here with us and wait.
Oh, the exclamation duds.
This is Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, it's here, sir. There's a reservoir here, just like in the Rose Garden.
Just as I suspected. What is it? The two sides of this embassy are mirror images of each other, which means there is also a pool at the corresponding location on the Bobbly's side. Mr. Coach's body was moved into Babal through the pool in Alabasta.
Avoiding the topic with a vague answer like that is unbecoming of a prosecutor. If you don't mind, I'd like to see more physical proof if you have any.
The Iron Infant is positively soaked in water. Why do you think that is? It's because he was fished out of a pool, and not just any pool. It was the Bobbleys one. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that what must be true. What, the pools are connected? Aha! Yep! Call that one. The water reservoirs in the two courtyards are connected.
And where's your proof that the two sides are connected?
The proof is right there before your eyes. The half-drowned Iron Infant.
What? This blasted dough!
It's finally breaking, my friends. We're finally getting to him. Ah, Miss Edgeworth, I'm back. Hey! Don't tell me you guys figured everything out without me? We did, thanks to this hero of justice's son. Even if he is just a doll, he managed to help foil the villain.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Look, I don't want to say this, but it's kind of unlikely that the body just happened to have passed on through to Baba. This guy's a doll and he's small, so I can't believe it made it, but
He has a point.
Yes, well, that's right. I'm glad someone here understands. Mr. Edgeworth, are you going to next propose that a dead body can swim through a pipe?
you see, Mr. Prosecutor, our chase after this man is far from over.
Agent Lang. Why is he helping Mr. Alba out now? He's not. He realized the flaw in my argument and is helping to move the logic along. In which case, I should return the favor and find an answer.
And another thing, Mr. Kochi's body was found in his office in Baba. So what happened to his body after it was transported to the open air stage?
Mr. Alba had an accomplice in Babal, remember?
You mean Sheena, right?
With her there, you could see how it was possible to move the body up to the office.
Are you seriously claiming that she swam through the connecting pipe with the body?
He's right. Miss Sheena would drown if she did that. It's hard to imagine that she swam through the connecting pipe.
It looks like your hypothesis about how the body was moved is still only half-baked. In the end, it's all just befuddled musings of an accusatory man. No then, I believe you should give up and allow me passage. Because, from the start, there was no feasible method of transporting the body.
What?
Mr. Prosecutor, recall Sheena's movements.
What was happening in the embassy around the time Miss Sheena was in Babal? Oh, if only there was a way to get rid of the water in the pool? Get rid of the water? Aha! That's it.
Now, I believe this time we are really done, right?
Unfortunately for you, it's far from over, Mr. Alba.
You are a most persistent man. Are you saying that you thought of a way to move the body through the water?
Move the body through the water? That is completely unrelated to how it was done.
Excuse me?
The reason I say that is because there wasn't any water there at the time.
What do you mean there wasn't any water?
Just what it sounds like. Tonight's events made it possible to drain the water, allowing the body to be moved. Does he mean this, the fact that it was auto-refilling?
What is the meaning of this?
What is that supposed to prove? Yes, what is this supposed to be, Detective? I guess that was the wrong answer.
Huh? Me? I have no idea, sir.
Mr. Edgeworth, that question was directed at you.
Arg, it would appear that I presented the wrong piece of evidence.
It would seem that you didn't hear me just now, so let's try it again, shall we?
Alright, and I'll prove it to you with evidence. Let's go ahead and save here. Tonight's offense made it possible to drain the water. Oh! What event made it possible to drain the water? You needed something that requires water. I'm an idiot. The fact that this was refilling means that it was empty, but that's not the question. The question is, it was a fire. Tonight, Yatagratsu set fire to a variety of locations in the Bubbly's embassy. That is genius! By setting fire to the embassy, she made it possible to drain the pool, which made it possible for her to transport the body. Oh, that is so clever. In order to put the fires out, much of the reservoir's water was used. Of course, when the water was used, the reservoir's water level went down. If enough water was drained, the connecting pipe could be used to traverse the border.
So what? The water level went down? What? The reservoirs were connected? Does any of this matter? Can't prove any of this.
Pretending to be ignorant won't work with me. We both know what kind of situation we're in right now. Even a game, there comes a critical game-changing moment. A moment in which you hit a wall that you must overcome in order to beat the game.
I haven't lost yet.
I found the route to use to smuggle the body, and that route will lead to your defeat.
Even if all the water was used by the firefighting effort, you still can't really call that a smuggling route.
I know that.
I should have figured that you would know this. Hey, Mr. Alba, how deep are the pools anyway?
Hey. I'll have you know, those pools are extremely deep. And there are no ladders or footholds along the walls either.
It would be difficult for Sheena to throw the body and climb up out of the pool.
Ladders or foot walls along the walls. There was no need for such things.
What do you mean?
If only one would use a certain something, they could go up or down in the pool at will.
Oh, it looks like you got an answer already. Well, what are you waiting for, Mr. Prosecutor? Lighten us already.
That's a really good question. What in the world could be used? I need a clue here. The way in which Mishina and the body were able to rise up to the ground level. If there was a way to control the water level, there is a way to control the water level. That could be the way the body was moved. This was used so that this body and Miss Shina could move up and down in the pool. This is something that I've already talked about, right? It's this thing right here, the fact that it auto refills when the water level is low. Exactly. All right, good. I'm understanding how this works. I'm just getting it slightly out of order. Mr. Alba used the fountain spouts in a manner of speaking.
He used the fountain spouts? How so?
The water level in the pools can be controlled by opening and closing the spouts. Miss Sheena and the body were lifted upward by the buoyancy in water. The fire on the Bobbly's side and the firefighting effort. These were set in motion all for the sake of having a hiccup at a really bad moment. Sorry about that. Let me try it again. These were set in motion all for the sake of smuggling Mr. Cochin's body. Urk. Shall I show you where the final destination of my train of logic leads? First, Mr. Alba closed the fountain spouts in advance in preparation for things to come. Then he took the pushcart that was brought to the rose garden and pushed it along with the iron infant and Mr. Coach's body into the pool. At this time, Miss Sheena was busy conveniently starting the first fire in the ball. She then made for the open air stage's pool to wait for the firefighting effort to begin. When the firefighters used the water in that pool, the water level went down. And by the time the fire was put out, the pipe between the two pools was exposed. This is when she pushed the pushcart from Alabast into the ball. Once that was accomplished, Mr. Alba simply opened the fountain spouts once more. This is super clever. And the water level rose up to its original level along with Miss Sheena and the body. After that, Miss Sheena used the pushcart to carry the body up to the Secretariat's office. There is an elevator in the embassy after all, so you see. Even with her small frame, she could have easily transported Mr. Cochin's body. And that wraps up my thorough explanation of how the body was moved. No! Well, ex-Ambassador Alba, what do you think? Not so untouchable without your precious extraterritorial rights to protect you, are you?
I knew you could do it, Mr. Edgeworth. Way to fight back.
Yes, all thanks to Lurie. I'm never gonna live this day down, am I? You accuse me of moving the body across country lines. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty, you don't have what it takes to indict me.
The nitty-gritty? What does the old man want now?
Proof, I believe, is what he seeks.
Yes, proof. Without any, who is to say whether or not any of what you said actually really happened?
He wants proof? What are we going to do, Mr. Edgeworth?
There is no need to worry. I've had all the proof we need all along.
We do?
The body wasn't the only thing to go through the pool's connecting pipe tonight. Just as Detective Gumshoe found the pushcart in the open air stage area, so too did I find one other item there. And that piece of evidence is what will prove that the pools were the smuggling route. I don't understand how that works. This was another thing that was smuggled over to Babal's open air stage area. Okay, so all we need to do is look for something that's wet, right? Something wet, something wet, something wet. Something like this. Also wet for some reason. But how does it pick? How does this show what we're trying to say? I don't know, but it's the only other thing that's wet. Okay, I just gotta follow the evidence to see where it leads.
And what exactly is this?
You have no idea, do you? This little piece that I found on the bubbly side will be your undoing. Is that guitar pick not really a guitar pick, but is actually this piece of the knife? Because I know I've said before that this looks like this thing on the knife. So what if that thing is supposed to go here and the knife got damaged somehow and the pick is actually the this part of the knife? That means the knife got transported from one place to another.
A guitar pick? Would you care to explain how that is going to do me in, as it were?
Much to your chagrin, perhaps, but this is not a guitar pick. Exactly! They're telling me false evidence. It was never a guitar pick. It's a piece of the knife.
What?
This is something I found at the open air stage, which was transported with the body. I naturally assumed that you would recognize it since you took a photo with it after all. But since you don't, allow me to fill you in on what I found at the stage actually belongs to. It's this, the knife. Let us take a good look at the murder weapon that was used to kill Manny Cochin. On the handle of this knife, there is a beautiful blooming flower. However, it would appear that's missing a single petal. Now, let's see what happens when we try to fit this pick in that open slot. It's a perfect fit! I assume that the petal must have fallen off the flower during Mr. Cochin's murder. And then it was accidentally placed into the pushcart along with Mr. Cochin's body.
That's just a story, but nothing more.
Oh, I assure you it's more than just a story. Because for some odd reason, this flower petal was wet when I found it.
It was wet? Wet, you say?
Yes, and the only place it could have gotten wet was from the open air stage's pool. Now I ask you, how did a part of the weapon which was smuggled into the theater wind up in the open air stage area on the bubbly side of the embassy? I don't think I need to waste any words explaining this, as the petal explains it all for me. It proves that someone went from the Rose Garden pool on through into the ball.
Impossible!
The people of St. 5 have been waiting to see you face to face, Mr. Alba. I'll tell everyone back home we'll be there soon. You should be happy.
Why?
Why? It's a little late to be asking that question. You should have known from the very beginning, when you took your first life. No matter how you may plot, or how you may try to cover it all up, you can never hide from your crime and what you've done. Because we're here to see to it that justice is served to people like you.
You can't call what you've given a perfect argument.
You know, I don't think this guy is going to ever admit to his wrongdoings, Mr. Edgeworth. Nope, I don't think so either. Because he values himself above all else. People who can't be negotiated with, or people who refuse to admit when they've lost. I don't believe those kinds of people really exist, because everyone breaks eventually. You're right. In that case, I have no choice but to use all of the evidence I have. I'll use it all until he breaks under the weight of his crimes. Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more. This really will be the end of the line. Alright, let's... To be continued? Well, we just said we're gonna have a testimony. How is it to be continued, game? I mean, why? Why? Why do we need another part? Why do we need another part? Why can't we just go, I don't know, to the final testimony and just end it? Right? 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 I thought it was so close to the end of this case, and it finds out that we still probably have like 2 or 3 hours left. Oh boy, strap yourselves in, my friends. You know, we still have, what's it at? Like, yeah, we still have a little bit of time. So why don't we start? March 15th, 3:33 a.m., Theatrum Neutralis Lobby. Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more.
As if there's anything else for me to testify about.
I still have yet to fully prove that was Mr. Alba who murdered Mr. Cochin. Well, I would like to hear about your movements before the murder occurred. I wonder if you could tell us about what you did here at the Theatrum Neutralis.
Very well. I suppose I could tell you about that. Because about all I did was watch the Steel Samurai stage show.
Elaborating on even that alone is good enough for me. The only way for me to place this man under arrest is to pinpoint the exact location of where the murder took place. Well, that is the key to this investigation. Let's do it. Steel Samurai show.
I watched from the last row. Stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience. I swear I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose. I do remember the contents of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you? Those moving scenes were seared into this old man's heart. I'll never forget them.
Oh, I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. I could see this occurring. This right here. Because he Bennett, Larry couldn't do the early summer rain jab special attack. I have to somehow get him to say he saw this special attack happening. Because if he does, then we know he wasn't really there. So you were in the theater proper watching the Steel Samurai stage show, were you?
Of course I was. I have a great fondness for the Steel Samurai.
Yeah, I was pretty cool up there, wasn't I? You're not the one who was cool. It's the Steel Samurai who is cool. Yeah, Yeah, and the Steel Samurai special fashion move today was really something, huh?
Hey, Edgy! Who is she? I mean, who is this super cute girl?
Hands off, Larry. She's been standing here this whole time and only now he notices her? That's a good point. Larry, you're starting to slip there, man. Her name is Kay Faraday, and she's helping me in my investigation. Sorry, I didn't get to do it to myself earlier, but better late than never. And she's too young for you, so stay away from her.
Yes, okay. I'm Larry Boots.
Oh, dear God.
Silence in the peanut gallery. There's no time for such civilities at a time like this. Mr. Prosecutor, this is the final battle. You got that?
I know. This is the end. For that man there.
Ha 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 ha. Now that's the kind of thing I like to hear. I think I'll give trust you a try, Mr. Prosecutor. Or rather, Mr. Edgeworth. I leave the critical battle up to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Have no fear. I will finish the job. This really is the end game. The time has come to expose every last one of Mr. Alba's lies. The Steel Samurai show.
I watched some nice shows. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience.
The last row, I would think that ambassador would have had special seating reserved.
I wanted my set to enjoy the Steel Samurai show as well. I also wanted a quick way to get out, so that way I could come in, let everyone see me, and then I could duck out, and everyone would think that I'm watching the show because they saw me enter, and no one would know I didn't stay for the whole thing.
That's exactly what happened. I know, I can see this happening. It's such a wonderful feeling to know how this is going to play out. It's also such a horrible feeling if you're just completely wrong. Granted. But I just have a feeling this is what we need to do.
So I gave up all the good seats for them. It was enough for me to simply see him.
Hey, the Steel Samurai wasn't the only hero. Let's not forget about the pink princess here.
My dear madam. If you continue to thrust about like that, your hip may begin to hurt again.
Oh my, well, aren't you the considerate person when you want to be? But this young butterfly is on the side of Edgy Poo. Oh dear lord. So he can spare me the flirtatious commands.
Ugh, the dudes.
Wow, he's completely frozen. In frustration, perhaps. I dare say she can be the rather trying opponent. In any case, Mr. Alba, can you actually prove to us that you were watching this show?
I swear, I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose.
Are you admitting then that you have no way to proving to us that you were watching?
Quiet! You buzz my ear like a pesky little fly. If you don't wish to listen quietly until the end of what I have to say, well then perhaps you should back up and get out of my way. Huh. See that you're willing to be a bit more receptive now. Well, it's true that it may be difficult to prove that I was out in the audience. I do remember the contents of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you?
Well, I remember the contents of the show as well myself.
Well, that's nice. I don't care.
That's nice.
Boss Edgeworth, don't allow yourself to be riled up about him at this appointed juncture.
I wasn't planning to let him.
Well, if you ask me, I think I'm the biggest steel samurai expert around here. And didn't you think the climactic scene of today's show was just totally awesome? Oh yes, I remember that well, and that spectacular special move. The way you delivered the final blow against the evil magistrate early summer rain job. Boom! Boom! Yes! Yes!
I told you! Told you! That's it! That's it!
Oh, that scene will live on in my heart forever.
Is that how it went?
Heh, I totally forgot about that.
How can you forget your own special moves? That's the special attack that the Steel Samurai uses when he's using the Samurai Spear.
Oh yes, and today was the first time they showed off, was it not? I hadn't watched the show. Well, how could I answer with the name of that move?
I suppose you are correct. But if you could, please elaborate on this point for me so I can hang you from the wall.
One of the scenes was of his never before seen early summer rain jab move.
Early Summer Rain Jab was a move that was to be unveiled today.
And because it's all that brand new special move, I believe it confirms my alibi.
How sad. The only way he's got to protect himself is that he watched the Steel Samurai. I guess this guy really, has nothing else left? Yes, and to avoid arrest, you can bet he'll say or do anything. But with all of us here, there will be no escape for him. Yeah, well, find a way to bring him to justice. Now then, let us continue with your testimony, Mr. Alba.
Very well. Steel Samurai special move and the various other scenes. Those moment scenes were seared in this old man's heart. I'll never forget them.
I agree. Today will be a day to remember. Especially when we finally make you pay for all the wrongs you've committed.
What?
Hey, that's what the Steel Samurai says when he defeats evil magistrate. That's right. And I say it in a so much cooler way than Larry over there ever could dream of.
Hey, actually, that line was something that I just like ad-libbed.
Oh dear God. I'm starting to take after him. This world is coming to an end. You may act all surprised, but naturally you remember this line, don't you?
Of course I do. I just now understand how the evil magistrate felt, that's all.
Then allow me to make you identify with the evil magistrate some more. Hey, then that makes you the Steel Samurai, huh? Well, if you had to complete the analogy, I suppose then yes. I like that. He likes it. He's like, that's right. I am the Steel Samurai. I am the defender of justice. Phoenix, just watch me fly. And I do believe it's about time to bring the curtains down on this with a bang. Kay and myself were also in the audience of the Steel Samurai show. He's got nothing on the gem ninja, but he was still cool enough, I guess.
Heh, wasn't my brand new special finishing move totally rad?
No, don't tell me. It was you who thought up of this special move?
Ah, yep. Now what was that again? Extremely silly vein jab? Was that it? Ah, no, wait, it was a stubble breaking chip. Ah, that doesn't sound quite right.
How can you forget the move you just came up with? The final piece to Mr. Alba's alibi is that he was watching the Steel Samurai show. However, if he was busy killing Mr. Kochin, he should not have had the time to do so. Let's get him, my friends. Let us get him. The special move today was the early summer rain jab. Is that your final answer?
You little irritating gnat. Do you think you could trip me up by asking the same old question over and over?
Well, that was not my intention. Your testimony is more than sufficient. However, I believe it would be wise for you to take a look at this.
The samurai spear? What about it?
This spear actually never made it on stage today.
Excuse me?
Ah, you fool. Huh. Unfortunately for you, tonight's Steel Samurai happened to be a goof of a young man with an abundance of useless hot-bloodedness.
Huh? Is that a compliment or an insult? It's hard to tell with Edgeworth. You know what? Maybe it was both. Yeah, I'd just be like Edgy, insulting me by complimenting at the same time.
Anyway, having said that, said useless man bent the spear during his rehearsal this evening. Kay, do you remember what the Steel Samurai special move was tonight? It was the Steel Samurai Sushi Slash. That's right, she's been saying that non-stop. That's right. Correct. Because he couldn't use the spear, a last-minute change was made. Had you really been watching the show, you would have known the move that was used. Quercus Alba. You didn't watch even a single minute of the Steel Samurai stage show tonight, did you?
Aha! So if he wasn't watching the show tonight,
then it opens up the possibility that he was busy killing Mr. Kochin instead. So, where were you during the show? I demand an answer now. Just what is so funny?
You're so sloppy. So are your conclusions. I still insist I watched the show, most of it in any case.
What do you mean by most of it?
You see, during the show, I left my seat for a spell to visit the bathroom. I assumed that was when that dramatic scene was played out on stage.
And that's the lousiest, lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life, pal. You know what, Gumshoe's calling you out for your nonsense. You're doing something wrong. Although I love Gumshoe. Gumshoe's so great. Gumshoe is, out of all the characters in this game, I think Gumshoe is probably my favorite character. And do we have any other Gumshoe appreciators in the audience tonight? Because I know I love the guy, and I think he's awesome.
Just because he got the name of the move wrong, we can't really use that as proof that he didn't watch the show at all.
Erg.
As a fan of the Steel Samurai, I want to watch the entire show, honest.
As a Steel Samurai fan, for someone who wasn't even in his seat for the climax of the show, you have no right to call yourself a Steel Samurai fan ever. What just... Who was that just now? What? What? Why would Larry say hold it? At first I thought this was an entirely separate Steel Samurai. But no, according to this is Larry. So...
Hey, goodbye, young lady!
Larry, what are you doing interrupting me like that?
Edgy! Hold on for saying I beg. I may never accept this old man as a Steel Samurai fan, but I totally think it's Steel Sam...
Samanic? Submaniac? I can't say this word.
I totally think he's a Steel Submaniac.
There, we'll go with that.
What exactly is a Steel Submaniac or what's up, pal?
I believe he meant to say the Steel Samurai Maniac.
Yeah, trust me. I know a real fan when I see one because I'm the Steel Samurai.
I will never acknowledge you as a true Steel Samurai. What are you getting so worked up over, Mr. Edgeworth?
It appears that the real Steel Samurai recognizes me as a fan. As well as he should, for I am a fan. Not as though I missed the entire show. It was the most amazing show, filled with the spirit of the young at heart.
Huh. The sarcasm dripping from his long-winded nose wouldn't run any thicker. Getting the name of the move wrong only proves that he didn't watch the last scene. What I really need here is something more definitive. Something that links Mr. Alba directly to the murder of Mr. Cochin.
You know what, Gramps? Really something else. I am honored to receive such praise from Steel Samurai, but what was it for? Well, I was just wondering how you found out about the early summer rain jab.
I was wondering that too, unless they had a conversation about it. That's what I was thinking. Alba and the Steel Samurai were talking to each other.
Well, that move is a bit of a secret that only a small portion of the staff knew about.
Wait, it was a secret? Larry, wait, what did you just say?
Huh? Did I say something stupid again?
Did you say that the early summer rain jab was actually a secret?
Well, maybe I shouldn't have said secret. It's more like we only decided on the name of the move right before the start of the show.
Right before?
Yeah, the stage director was going nuts because we were supposed to debut the move. About 5 minutes before the show, we threw it up on the dressing room's whiteboard. Early summer rain jab. It's kind of how we decided the name of the move. By that time, I'd already spit the spear, so I guess the whole thing was, kind of pointless.
All of you Steel Samurai actors are the same. The director has my complete sympathy.
So basically, because we changed the mood to the sushi slash, we kind of pretend that the early summer rain jab didn't exist at all. I mean, it'd be bad if someone found out we changed the moves and made it like a secret, you know?
So basically, a gag order was issued for publicity's sake. It almost makes the early summer rain jab sound like a lost art.
But yeah, which is why I think most of the staff hadn't even heard of the move. Hold these lips or you are still. What the heck, old man? Oh, do nothing but listen. From what I can tell, it's all very unrelated to the case. It's also very tedious and a pointless exercise and wasted time, much like a kid's show.
You just insult the Steel Samurai? Mr. Alba, I believe the one you should be quiet now is you.
How dare you?
I suspect that you've already noticed exactly what the very severe implications are in this man's testimony.
Huh? So now you're trying to bully me, huh? There are no implications to be read in the behind-the-scenes story of a kid's show.
Don't even think about trying to slither your way out of this crack, Alba. You were the one who said it yourself, that the name of the move was Early Summer Rain Jab. But that name was only decided upon right before the show was about to start.
So, just what you driving at?
That the name of the movie told us was never used in the show or said aloud.
Now then, would you care to tell us about how you found out the name of that move?
Because I can only think of one way you could have known.
Quercus Alba. This is the only way you could have known the name of the special move. He thought it up. Or he asked about it. Didn't he say that he just made it up? It's one of these two. I'm not sure which one. I'm gonna say that he's the one who thought it up because he told them to have the Steel Samurai do it. Which is why he knew the move. You knew the name because you thought it up. Therefore, it's only natural that you knew. You were the one who created the name of that move.
Oh, that's...
Mr. Edgeworth, somehow I don't think that's it.
Let's just leave it at that, since it clears everything up nice and neat for me.
Hey, what exactly did you find out by saying that anyway?
Not much actually.
Will you please take this seriously?
I guess I made a mistake. Mr. Alba, would you care to tell us about how you found out the name of the move? Okay, so he asked about it. Or he saw it. I don't know. You asked a member of the staff, that is.
Hey now, did that samurai say just a few seconds ago that the people he knew were ordered to keep quiet about the move? I somehow doubt that he could have simply asked someone and gotten an answer. Besides, even if what you said was the case, what did we learn from that?
Alright, let me load the game. I'll come back in just a moment. Yeah. Let's pretend that this never happened. Right, I just wanted to do these other options, just so we could see what would happen, you know, because I like to explore every, no, I just totally messed up on it. I'm not going to. I'll just admit it. Yep, the game got me. You knew the name because you saw it. You saw it on the dressing room's whiteboard.
Oh, the excavated duds!
The staff members who knew were keeping it a secret. So you couldn't have simply gone up to a staff member and asked. Which means that the only other option left is that you saw it on the whiteboard. So that means that Mr. Alba was in the waiting room at some point, right? But what's the big deal, sir? I don't see what that means. There is another piece of evidence that has a great deal to do with the dressing room. So we can't afford to let this slide. This is related to both the dressing room and to Mr. Cochin's murder. Related to the dressing room and Mr. Cochin's murder. The spear itself? Nope, it's not the spear. It's a bit difficult to recognize at first glance, however.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, I only trust what I can see. And when it comes to evidence, I think everyone here agrees with me.
It would appear that his because it was not what I was looking for. Yes, well, this time I'll present to you the real piece that will prove my point. Actually, this may be a great time to stop. Probably another hour and a half left in this case. I may be able to get that all done in the next part. So yeah, this might have been the penultimate episode of Ace Attorney Investigation Miles Edgeworth. Yeah, you see, this is why I need a break. My voice is starting to go. I thought I was getting a little constricted there, during the case as well. I guess what happens when you try to balance 7 different voices at the same time. But anyway, my friends, I love you all so very much. Thank you for everything. No one YouTube community, all of YouTube. You guys mean so much to me. I can't thank you enough. Until next time, so long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.